Hello friends, hope you all are doing good. Today we are going to learn an important chapter of class 6 SCERT. The title of the chapter is For Shape and Strength. This chapter deals with the topics related with human skeleton, endoskeleton and exoskeleton which is coming under the PSC syllabus. Let's discuss about this chapter in detail. Can you see the picture of a fox and a tortoise? They are having a conversation about the shell. Fox is thinking, if tortoises did not have this shield, he could have eaten him. So why can't the fox eat the tortoise? Because tortoise has a hard shell. Do you think are there other organisms that possess outer shells like that of tortoise? How do hard shells help animals? Let's move to the next part to get the answers for this. From the previous slide, you can conclude that shells are the important part of many organisms. Some organisms like snail, beetle, crab, oysters, etc. have hard shells, but some other organisms like centipede, millipede, etc. are comparatively less hard. So, shells have some important functions, right? They help to protect the body parts, they provide shape, they help to escape from enemies. The shells which are present in these kind of organisms are called exoskeleton. So, what do you mean by exo? Exo means outer. So, it is the outer skeleton of the organisms. There are some organisms which possess remnants of the exoskeleton. Remnant means a part that is left after the greater part has been used, removed, or destroyed. So, examples of such organisms are scales of fishes and reptiles, feathers of birds, hairs, horns, hooves, and nails of animals. You can see from the picture that structure of scales of fishes are entirely different from that of crab, oysters, etc. But they are the remnants of exoskeleton. Here you can see a star tortoise and golden beetle. Don't you think they are attractive? Yes, they are attractive as they got beautiful patterns and colors in the exoskeletons. But it is very sad to tell that they are facing the threat of extinction. Who is responsible for their extinction? We humans are responsible for their extinction. Out of the 360 currently recognized species of tortoise, about 187 species are under IUCN Red List. One of the main factors of their extinction is habitat loss and degradation. Observe the figures. You can see the bones or skeleton. Are these bones present inside or outside our body? It is present inside our body. The skeleton which is seen inside our body are called endoskeleton. Endo means inside. Some organisms possess both endoskeleton and exoskeleton. Examples of such organisms are tortoise, crocodile, etc. Why we need bones in our body? Bones provide shape and strength to the body. They also help in the movement. Now we will come to the very important topic for PSC. The picture shows the bones of various parts of human body. You can see skull, ribs, bones of the hand, vertebral column. Skull, ribs, vertebral column and other bones differ in their size and shape. Why the bones of human body do not have same size and shape? Here is our star question. Which is the strongest bone in the human body? The jawbone is the strongest bone in the human body. When you come to the thigh bone, it is the largest bone in the human body. When you have an idea of largest bone, definitely you should know about the smallest bone in our body. Stapes in the ear is the smallest bone in the human body. You can see both these bones clearly in the picture. So, which is the largest bone in the human body? Thigh bone. And what about the smallest bone in the human body? Stapes. Observe the pictures carefully to get the idea of proper postures of the body. Why we should maintain a proper posture? We should maintain a proper posture to keep our vertebral column straight in every instance. You may have heard about people suffering from back pain. The reason for the back pain is due to the bending of vertebral column. So we should always maintain a proper posture. Now we will study about the number of each bones in our body. Around 300 bones are there in the body at the time of birth. Infants or babies have 300 bones in their body. So what about the adults? In the adulthood, certain bonds fuse together and the number reduces to 206. This 206 bonds in the human body is as follows. Skull 22, ribs 24, in each leg 30, waist or hip 2, vertebral column 33, in each hand 32, chest bone 1. So total of 206 bones are present in our body. Have you observed the bones in pinna and nose? You can see soft bones in nose and ear. These soft bones are called cartilages. Cartilages are more in number in children. Now we will come to the function of the skeleton system in our body. Move your palms and elbows. Can you move both in the same way? No, their movement is different. Examine the ways in which different parts of the body like neck, knee and fingers can be moved. This kind of movements are mainly done by joints. Joints connect bones together and helps us in various movements and action. There are mainly three important joints we have to learn in this slide. They are ball and socket joint, hinge joint and pivot joint. Ball and socket joint is present in shoulder joint and hip joint. They are freely movable. The ball of one bone rotates in the socket of the other bone. Hinge joint is present in the elbow and knee. Like a hinge, they can be moved only in one direction. Pivot joint is present in the neck, part where the skull and the anterior part of the vertebral column joins. This is a bone turns in opposite direction at an axis in the same plane. Have you ever had a bone fracture? When do the bones get fractured? How do you know that your bone is fractured? Strong impact can cause the breaking of bones or appearance of fissure in the bones. Breaking of bones is called fracture. Sometimes the position of the bones is also changed. This is called dislocation. So you have to protect our bones from fracture caused by accidents. Tying the splint will be helpful to prevent dislocation. Splint is a strong support made of wood, plastic or metal. You can see in the picture. Tying the broken part using a splint helps to block its movement. Why bone is hard? Calcium and phosphorus are essential for the growth of bones. Hardness of bone is due to the presence of calcium phosphate. During the course of the growth, minerals like calcium and phosphorus hardens our bone. But in infants or babies, the bones are not very hard because the deposition of the calcium phosphate is less. But as you grow up, when you become an adult, the calcium required by the body is absorbed from the bones. This can cause weakening of bones. When this weakening process reaches a certain stage, it is called osteoporosis. Osteoporosis is a disease that weakens bones to the point where they break easily. Osteoporosis is also called as silent disease. Vegetables like ashgad, snake gourd, etc., fruits like guava, jambu, etc., egg, milk, and small fishes are rich in calcium. We need to eat the sources of food which is rich in calcium to keep our bones strong. Thank you, dears, and hope you all have understood the concepts of this chapter clearly. To receive more videos of SCERT chapters, subscribe my channel PSC Capsules and please do share to your friends.